Hello everybody and welcome to the Tuesday episode of Blunders and Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. Tuesday party, this is episode 37! 37! And these guys are off on a crazy wild adventure. This is the group known as Carnal Eclipse, featuring their guests Arkin, who's a little shy, Hannibal, who is not, and the duck, who is no longer a duck. He's a knight now. He's a night duck, apparently. He's like Batman, but he's also not. As you can tell, things are going a little mental, but as well and good as possible because they have found 3 shards already, which is part of their mission, and they're going to speak to Paltelamon the Angel soon and find out what is next for those guys. So, let us go and find out what's going. Hi guys!
Hey!
Hi!
Hello!
Hello! So, you guys are currently in Fort William, which is under new management, but it's okay because the new management is someone that you rather like. And you guys have woken up, had some breakfast. Arkin has finished sleeping with the 2 ladies he slept with last night. The duck, or the ex-duck, the Angry Behold duck, has had an interesting night with Narvinio. The Theratas and Redo, we can only assume, once again had a very exciting evening together. Arissa had cuddles from a flamey dog. Felicity slept with several people. And the rest of you can decide if you did anything naughty or not. And from the silence, I will take that as not.
Just messing up, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. The rest of them are deciding whether they had any shenanigans last night or not.
Oh, that's it. I'll quietly sit back.
All the shenanigans. All of them. All of the shenanigans. So, partway through your breakfast, you guys heard a familiar voice call to you all and say, "Come outside, I wish to speak to you all." And it was the voice of Paltelamon the Angel who initially gave you your quest to go and find the shards. So, after finishing up some of your food, yes, Varric, you can stuff your pockets with food if you like. I'm just going to preempt that by saying yes. You guys headed outside. Now, neither Arkin, Hannibal, or Mr. Duckywuck heard any of this. So it's up to you guys whether you want to take them with you or tell them to wait, or if you guys want to follow them. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll follow them.
Okay, Hannibal's going to follow.
I will also follow.
So it's Arissa. I love that my sound came back just in time for that, but
Well,
we following my story?
I think Arkin's got a little bit of the case of the shaky leg, so I think he's going to sit down and chill.
Okay. Abracity, you guys are going outside to talk to Paltelamon, and the duck and Hannibal are going to follow you, but Arkin is just going to sit where he is for a while.
Before I leave, I want to shoot Arkin a wink.
He's going to try and wink back in the most awkward way possible. It looks like it's a strain for him.
He tries to wink, but he blinks.
Yeah,
He
pretty
blinks
much.
twice. Arkin's doing Morse code.
Pretty much.
Perfect.
Had a great time, in a lot of pain. Be with you in a minute.
I heard that.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, guys. I don't know what is wrong with my sound. I've stopped doing other internet things, so hopefully that'll stop it.
That's okay. I will try and type things to you as well. Anytime we say anything important to everybody, make sure you type it so that people can hear. Hello, Barrett! So you guys have just been eating your breakfast and you have heard Paltelamon say to you that he wants to have a word, so you've all headed outside. Arkin is still getting over the fact that he had sex with 2 ladies last night, so he's staying where he is, but your duck paladin friend and Hannibal are following you out. And yes, you can eat all the foods.
It could be literally just me and fucking Navinia just like drinking coffee and just look staring into space.
Yeah, Navinia will stay with you. She's like in her little bracket holder thing. Okay. So you guys head on outside. and see sort of he's not hiding, but he's sort of out of the way. You guys have to go round a corner and into a sort of like the end of an alley. And he is sort of hovering, shiny and white, looking probably quite regal and pretty to everyone except Hannibal, who probably doesn't find it quite so regal and pretty.
No.
Finds him more annoying and shiny.
Yes. Too shiny.
Far too
Too
shiny.
bright.
Far too shiny. So he beckons you all over, and he looks down across you and says, "I am impressed. You have done it very, very well. To have found 3 shards already is more than we thought possible. How are you all? How are you doing? I see you have gained another member." And he looks across at the once duck.
Yeah, it's Sir Duck.
The ducks a lot.
Sir Quackalot.
Ragnar will bow and say, "A pleasure to meet your acquaintance, whoever you are. I feel like I need some context."
As a paladin, you would know on sight that this is an angel. A very shiny one. Probably some sort of archangel. Very, very powerful angel.
And his name is Bob.
His name is Paltelamon. And yes, you get bonus points if you know where I stole that from. Changed it around a little bit. For copyright purposes. You have been probably told by Arissa through the medium of song and possibly dance. He has given them their mission, which is currently to go all around the world and find the 6 shards, which will make up a interpretive dance. And he will give. They need to get all these shards, put them together, and it will create a item called an Adar, which will help them vanquish evil in the land of Trevis. And yes, good will vanquish evil, etc., etc., etc.
Is anyone else hearing electricity with lots of moving sounds?
Yep.
Okay, that was just me.
What?
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. I just turned off my PC and I've just used my laptop instead to see if that stops the thing. I'll stop moving now.
It's okay, it's good.
Sorry, I didn't realise it was going to make loads of noise. Sorry.
Don't be too sorry.
But I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Okay, now I'm not sorry anymore.
It's okay. So you would recognise him from Arissa's very lush interpretive dance descriptions and the fact that you're a damn paladin, so you probably know, this is an angel. Very beautiful angel. And he he'll shake your hand, and when he shakes your hand, you can feel his presence, but it also feels a bit like shaking hands with water. It's very strange. You can't quite get a grip. You can feel shaking his hand. You can feel the motion, but you can't quite make contact.
Okay.
Look.
Paltelamon, it's good to see you again, friend.
It has been almost a long time. You are aware you have come back to the world of Mercer a little later than intended, correct?
Yes, we missed a very important date, but luckily we've not come back too much later than we left. How much have you seen of our journey?
Unfortunately, our vision cannot penetrate completely into other realms, but I sensed enough as you moved your way through and came back to us. Everything in the blanks were filled in, as it were. And of course, you are lucky you came back before anything had, how would you mortals describe it, kicked off, I believe would be the term. Nothing has yet kicked off. However, I have been informed by a creature who has come to me only recently. He's been making his way to me for the past few months, it seems, all the way from a school in Arissa, and he has informed me that trouble may well be afoot soon, because there are people attempting to revive a rather evil entity, which may unfortunately go to their plan. It seems they have quite the means of doing so, and therefore we must make extra haste in our endeavours to be able to combat this when it occurs. I'm afraid it seems as though it is inevitable now. Yes, Barry, it is the creature you freed on Sunday.
Paltelamon, what is this dark creature that you're talking of, this darkness that's being released upon us?
The darkness itself refers to itself only as the shadow. Not entirely original, in my opinion, but I did not choose my name either. However, it is the beings that work for it that we must be worried about. The shadow itself can never be destroyed. It is the balance of good and evil. Good can never be completely outweighed by evil and vice versa. The shadow is made up of the pulse of the underrealm. It is the embodiment of all the darkness and evil that resides there. It is essentially their deity. It is prayed to by all and embodiment of the entire realm. However, a piece of it, known only as the Son of Shadow, is able to wander a little of Mercer. It broke through and has been causing quite a lot of chaos in the wake of its, for want of a better word, father. And between the two of them, they have acquired quite a lot of allies and followers, one of whom I believe you have encountered, particularly Vitheritas.
That just sort of grimaced a little bit, thinking of the battle up on the airship. And just go, hopefully one that I can dispose of soon enough.
Paltelamon, is this Son of Shadow able to be defeated?
As far as we are aware, yes. If only because it is merely a manifestation of the shadow itself. Being not entirely as powerful as its creator means even if it cannot be completely destroyed, it would go back into the shadow. And that would buy the world itself a great deal of time before it managed to reform another, especially if we were able to close the barriers between our world and the underrealm for good. The cracks and creases that are still residing in Trevis are still technically open. It's just hard for creatures to find their way through at the moment. But once they've awoken, people like Urfel, one of the greatest servants of evil of all time, unfortunately, she has the power to make these cracks into doors and open them.
And this Ada, is that what will help us close these cracks?
The Adar will help us to, and I hope I do not offend or shock anybody, but the Adar is our only way to destroy Urfel herself. It cannot close any of the doors. It cannot undo any of the work that she does. We can only hope to get to her before she does too much damage. Once those doors are opened, it is beyond my power to close. In fact, even you, Hannibal, would not be able to close those doors.
Oh, really? I would love to see them up close.
I am sure you would for fascination, but it would probably not be the best idea.
Oh, you know us. Can't we ever have good ideas?
Hey, if she wants to go and look at these evil cracks close up, I'm not going to stop her. Off you pop, Hannah. See you later. Bye.
In fact, I'll help her inspect them closer, Cake.
Okay, are you guys actually saying that as the characters or as yourselves? Because it's a very vague line here nowadays.
In character. In character.
Okay.
Oh, I'm out of character though.
Okay.
1 second. So, Varric, since your truth card revealed the memories of... Sorry, I'm just reading your message. Since your truth card revealed the memories of Sunday Varric until he died, do you remember the Dragon Ball vacation to Bell? If she mentioned it, then yes.
Well, knowing Cass, she mentioned it at several moments.
I believe she mentioned it quite a lot. So,
Especially in the beginning.
in which case, yes. And Arissa... in fact, could you both do me a wisdom check?
Let's see what happens.
14 for Arissa.
My laptop with my character sheet is being slow as fuck, so give me a second. Oh shit, it closed my character sheet. That's not okay.
Yeah.
It
I
has a
specifically
minus
need you
sign.
opened right now. Plus. Yeah, so... That's not gonna do me much good. Lucky 7!
Yay! First lucky 7 of the night.
I mean, I specifically rolled a 2.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Get the low rolls out of the way now, you'll be fine, honey, you'll be fine.
Okay.
We're not fighting anything yet. It can't kill me yet.
Varric, when you hear the name Urfel again, you get a very sort of like, feeling, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Arissa, you know that the other Arissa has heard that name a lot, and you're not 100% sure how, but you think you remember that she travels with someone who knows a lot about her or has talked about it a lot. You remember this.
Okay.
Which is a great deal of help to both of you, of course. I'm knocking things over. Oh no.
I'll just literally go, never mind. All of that is out loud.
Does Paltelamon know about the other Arissa?
You've never asked.
I think now might be the time to ask.
We might have mentioned it at some point earlier.
Yeah, I can't remember if we did or not.
I'm not
So I think
certain.
Arissa's
As far as I'm aware,
Gonna-
you could ask now if you want, yeah.
Yeah, she's just going to look up at Paltelamon and go, the name strikes a bell, and I think it's because of the other me.
Paltelamon.
I'm just going to look confused again at the mention of other me's, because I still have no idea what's going on.
That's because you're the original OG.
There's only one Apricity.
Paltelamon will offer his hand to Arissa.
Okay.
Will she take it?
Yes, very kind of like, okay.
He's gonna tap that.
He takes your hand and
If he tries, he dies.
he takes your hand, and for a second, Arissa sort of glows a little, just all around the edges, and he closes his eyes, and you can feel a sort of warm pulse coming through your hand. Again, you can't make contact with his hand either. It's like almost like solid water, but it's odd. It's
Whoa. I missed something. Is the angel touching Arissa?
He's holding her hand.
Okay, Hannibal is not gonna like this. She's just gonna appear behind Arissa, cross her arms, and a bit of her magic will start floating around her in a intense manner as she stares at the angel, as if daring him to do something.
He'll just smile at you nicely.
The glare will intensify.
Arissa will roll her eyes.
Can I just prepare an arrow at all this magic happening? Just because I feel like I should be able to protect if needed. So I'm just gonna hold an arrow in my hand and a bear trap in the other.
Annabelle,
Sato!
do be careful with your magic. You know what happens when it mingles with mine. It may put the child at risk.
Not to worry, Hannibal. Not to worry. You
You say
right.
that, but I have every reason to worry.
He lets go of Arissa's hand and he says, "You are quite right, child. You are one of a pair. And you are not a twin. You are a part of an identical copy. It's beyond my capability to tell you which is the original, however. I would
Damn it.
take into account you may need to make that decision at some point." And he turns to you, Varric, and says, "That decision was already made for you, of course."
What, which one's the original?
Well, you are.
I think it's more that was confirmed that I'm the survivor.
I think that's what he meant.
Well, Varric, you are the original because if you had fallen, your copy would not have gained your half of the soul. You would have moved on entirely to the afterlife and left a half-soulless version of yourself wandering around. You are
So what you're saying is I won.
Fortunate that you
So, if I'm the copy, but the other Arissa dies, what happens to the baby?
That is an interesting and slightly more biological question. I would assume the other you is not with child. And therefore I would assume it would continue to grow as, and he sort of glances at your stomach, non-naturally as it has been.
Yeah, well, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Yes, I believe your gestation period? No, that's not quite the right term.
Pregnancy.
I believe shall be quicker than even you anticipate now, but just be aware of that.
In other words, you warned for the next episode.
Great. I'm going to stare at her and be like, just great.
Annabelle will just stare at her smugly.
I think the only thing you have to be concerned about is someone with half a soul birthing another half-souled person. If the other part of you dies and moves on, it takes half of your soul with it, and as you are sharing it, you would be left with only half and would have no control over which half. It may be all your insecurities and anger. It may be a piece of your anger and most of your ability to sing. It may be your laughter and one thing you are really bad at doing. Could be any combination of things. But I cannot say what sort of effect that might have on a child. Biologically speaking, it would be fine, but I cannot speak for the soul.
Is there any way to find out which of us is the original?
Yeah, kill the other.
No, Varric.
The
Hey, it helps with me.
Yeah, well, we can't guarantee that I'm the original. I don't want the other Arissa to die if she's the original, because what would our baby be?
You're right.
I'm enjoying chat. Vitheritas frowns.
I do so hope you are the original. It'll be such a problem to make another child.
The only way to know for certain would be for both of you to come face to face. You would have to decide which you wanted to continue being, and then merge together like two droplets of rainwater upon a window. You would merge together, and the memory of whichever one you wanted to be would live on, but only one of you.
Okay. You seem to know a lot about this. Do you know how, maybe not specifically, but maybe generally about how it happened? How
I could have a guess. I could have a very educated guess. I have heard of this before. I've heard of members of my order of the Rebel Angels. They've come across only a few like this before. You probably stepped through a rip in the air of Mercer. Probably completely unwillingly and without realizing. Varric, you too. I mentioned the Son of Shadow. Well, he has means to move through Mercer by tearing into the very fabric of the air itself. He is attempting to transport himself all over the place so that he can travel quickly. However, in his haste to build his power and move around, he forgets to close some of them up behind him, and so he leaves behind him rips in the air. To you or other mortals, it may appear to shimmer and glow, or you may not see it at all. And as I say, you probably walked straight through one. And unfortunately, they are not designed for mortals to step through, so it will have quite literally torn you in half. And the two of you, if you didn't notice each other, will have carried on living, believing you to be the only one in existence. Potentially have wandered off in separate directions, carried on living your own life, but with a strange connection left between you. That is the shared soul. That's why you can probably understand things that you've never learned or heard and recognize places you've never been. Correct?
Yeah. I keep getting deja vu, and after our own experiences with a torn soul, things started to make more sense. So, whichever one of us is the copy? She was literally made by accident?
Quite. A complete accident. It's no fault of your own, of course. It is, well, the fault of the Son of Shadow for being quite so careless. He moves through the world on whim as he pleases, and leaves a lot of holes in his wake here. Those that lead from Travis to the Underrealm, and those in the air as he rips his way through, attempting to, well, he's attempting to be more magical than he actually is. And so, yes, we have been sporadically going around and sealing up any that we can find. However, we, as far as we are aware, there are very few left. Just take care as you're moving around, particularly you, Varric and Arissa. To be torn apart once is bad enough. To be torn apart again, I have no real experience in what that would be like, but I can't imagine it would be good.
Probably dangerous.
Quite probably, Varric, yes. Quite probably. Do you have any more questions? Or have I confused you enough for one afternoon? Morning. It is your morning. I am sorry I came from another place.
Nice save.
There's some very angry chat going on at the moment. There's Varric saying, "I stab at the voice in my head!" Oh no, wait, that's dangerous, never mind. And the Veritas is muttering again. Yeah, sounds about right. Well, then, to the matter at hand. You have 3 of the 6 shards. I must congratulate you. And owing to that, I feel I ought to give you something to aid you in your journeys.
Yes, please.
Blocks.
Well, and he turns to the angry beholder and sort of points at him. Now, this newest member of your group, am I to assume he is going to be with you for the foreseeable future?
Well, unless he turns back into a duck, because then he is easy to roast.
Varric, that's not very polite.
Ragnar chuckles.
with a tiny bit of fear in his eyes.
Varric is
Oh yeah, just the faintest amount.
Luckily, Varric's just had breakfast, so there's not too much like.
10 minutes.
Varric is still daydreaming about recipes for duck now.
In which case, I shall grant this to you also. I cannot offer you much. Most of our power is going into trying to hone in on what the great evil are doing and keep our eyes and ears around us and try and get as many allies as we can. There's a lot of people to keep an eye on. It appears that the evil is spreading further than we could have imagined, and while you were away, well, 9 months is a long time to enlist more supporters. Travis is full of interesting characters now, but that is beside the point. I offer you all a blessing from my group. The Rebel Angels will bless you in your journeys. And he'll make all of your wrist tattoos glow. And Angry Behold Duck. Hannibal, he won't be even offering this to you, so...
No, she's grimacing and stepping away from his magic.
Angry Behold Duck, you feel a sort of glowing on your wrist, and you won't get the same tattoo as the rest of them. You'll get a sort of shimmering gold circle on your wrist, and they all glow. And you guys have been given an angel's blessing, which means that once every long rest, you guys can use your blessing to re-roll one thing of your choice. So you can re-roll your initiative, you can re-roll an attack, you can re-roll a skill check. You can do anything you want. You can't re-roll damage, but you can re-roll to do something. So you can do that at once per long rest.
Nice.
So once per day, free reroll.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
On everything except for damage. So.
That's amazing.
Ragnar will bow again, and he will state, "Thank you, kind angel, for this gift."
Paltelamon will smile, and just for a moment, he will embark in some silliness, and he will say, "Quack."
Yeah.
Instinctively, Ragnar quacks back.
Thank you, Paltelamon. I hate to say that I'm regretting our journey, but recent events have made me question things. We lost a girl, an innocent, for this task. And I think I underestimated how it might feel. So thank you. Anything that can help us along our way, I appreciate it greatly.
I regret such things happened, and appreciate that you still brought the shards. 2 of them, I suppose. I appreciate you still brought them through the pain it had caused. Just please believe us when I tell you we had no intention of any others coming across these shards, and had no intention of them being found or used in such a way. It would have kept the girl alive for an indefinite period of time, but she would have been in a great amount of danger had anything whispered of her location to any of the evil that was rising. I am not saying her death was a good thing, but I believe it almost inevitable from the moment they were implanted into her. I appreciate this is not what you wanted to hear, but... Yes. And he sort of falls a little silent for a minute, having a think.
If you could share her story for us, if you could tell others of her name and deeds that she's done, hopefully this won't all be in vain.
Of course, I can have her name and story spread if that is what you desire.
It is the least we can do.
Then it is done. On that subject, but moving from the less pleasant, I suppose, the only thing I can say is that the more haste in which we find the rest of the shards, the less likely it is that anything else can have happened to others.
Thank you, Paltelamon.
Where is it you are heading next? Am I to assume you are off in search of the rest? Do you have any particular places in mind?
I
Go on.
believe Arissa was our next place to go and explore.
We do have to return to the airship city first, though.
And also there had been talk of returning home to Carnal Keep very shortly as well. I think we need to sit and plan.
I think the best idea is to go past Carnal Keep before we return back up to fetch our new airship that I bought. And I just realized that there's party members that don't know that I bought that thing. Like they mostly know that I rented one, but
The therapist is just sort of staring at Varric and wondering where you got all the money.
and then, well, we can go past the keep to, check there, and we can fetch our ship and then use that to go to Arissa.
I would never seek to control what you are going to do or dictate in which manner you should do it, but I would advise the most haste you can. We have unfortunately lost quite a bit of time in the journey you took back from the other plane of existence. This is not a snipe against you, it is entirely out of our control what the, how did you describe it, timey-wimey effects are on travel. But nonetheless,
I like that he struggled on it.
he's a little like Castiel in that, like he doesn't quite get the lingo. But nonetheless, it is true that time has been lost and must be made up for. I encourage planning, and I encourage you to take the time that you need, but hastily.
Do you know anything whereabouts? What you told us before, where this is?
Of course, how forgetful of me. Yes, of course. We have been honing in as best we can, and we can give you slightly better details than just Arissa itself. We have managed to gain information that when the group who first destroyed the Adar stole the shards and hid them, one was tracked through Arissa and to the forest of Ibar. And those of you who speak Elvish will know that that is the Forest of Death.
Wait, Rosie, do I remember that because of other reasons than just speaking the language?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's home.
I'm gonna look at Varric and then look at Redo and be like,
I'm just look terrified at the mention of Iba.
Annabelle will just look interested.
Or well, terrified with a hint of extreme anger.
Oh god. So that character, sorry.
Out of character, me is gonna have so much fun.
Oh god, I don't know what I can do.
There are those that are looking confused and just translate and basically go, it means forest of death in Elvish.
Oh.
So you're saying we're going home?
Wait, what?
I grew up there.
Was the first death? How are you alive?
It's a matter of kill or be killed. I just was quicker.
That makes a lot of sense.
Couldn't save Moria though, so I'm gonna avenge her. Gonna get that fucking owlbear.
Is the angel just listening to them talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just listening in like, the fuck they doing?
I think he's used to us. We kind of rattle on quite a lot.
Well, I unfortunately have no more information to give you and must get back. I am still searching for my daughter continually. I catch glimpses every now and again, which is rather frustrating. However, those of you who weren't here will have again been told via Arissa's interpretive dance. Paltelamon's daughter, Dalyaga, she was used years and years and years ago as essentially a vessel for good. She was going to be like the ultimate epitome of good, like kind of like a Jesus type thing.
Jeebus!
She was going to be used to basically give life to a vessel, so basically give birth to a Jesus. But after she did that, she snapped and realized that in order to protect the ultimate good, she would have to become the ultimate evil to protect him. So she now is... In fact, he'll probably mention this before to you guys, I'll mention again. She is rumoured to ride alongside Death himself now.
That's pretty cool.
She did it.
Please, yeah.
Well, sort of. Oh my god, yes, we'll put it as a Patreon thing. Arissa can do interpretive dances. To anything you want.
Within reason.
No, Arissa, it has to be all or nothing.
Arissa says yes, Gina says no.
It's okay, just do it in character and you'll be fine. So yeah, that's the backstory of her. It's his daughter that he's continually looking for. Which unfortunately means I often find myself in places surrounded by death and... Well, I've been in Travis quite a lot recently. That has been fun. It has not. I was being sarcastic there. Sorry. Well... If there's nothing else I can do for you, and I'm afraid at the moment it appears there is not, I can only wish you luck on your journeys to Risha. Again, I will not dictate to you what to do, but I must impart that haste would be of the utmost importance here. Good luck, and I hope to hear from you again soon. And the angel vanishes.
Poof.
Good luck in your... Oh, he's gone already. Bye.
Wait, were you going to say good luck in Europe?
Brexit. I was going to say good luck in your endeavours, but, you know, he hung up before I could.
By the way, DM, so he left a few feathers?
He left, yes he did. He left a few feathers sort of scattered behind him on the floor.
Harabelle will go near one, and she will crouch down, she will start to reach for one of them before thinking twice and just making a bubble around one of the feathers. She will lift it, look at it, and a slightly evilish smile will be on her lips for just a moment before she makes it disappear. And then she'll just go back to Arissa like nothing happened.
Could I collect some angel feathers, if any, fall near me?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Cool.
They're like bright white with like little bits of gold around the tips.
That fits Ragnar's aesthetic quite well. So he's just gonna tuck one into like his shirt or whatever clothing he's wearing, like a lucky charm.
Nice.
And yes, Varric, I've got your message too. Yes, you can do that.
I really want to know if you just messaged her with the exact same thing that I've messaged her on.
Well, this was about that other thing that we were talking about. Vicky.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Also,
okay, in that case, I'm going to make Varric a present in a minute. Carry on.
Presuming that the therapist can actually see Varric at the minute. Because he tends to disappear with messages. He's going to tap Varric on the shoulder and go get the airship.
With that, I jump and just flap my wings so that I fly up. And then, wait, can I whistle on my fingers, or is that not a thing that a Varric can do? Like, I'd assume it's some ranger thing to,
I was going to say, he'd probably be able to do that.
Why not? I'm sure you can do that.
In that case, I'm going to whistle on my fingers as loud as I can.
In a preordained signal that was decided between you and Wyatt, the ship's captain, correct?
No, mostly just to gain the attention of everybody. The next part will signal that it's to Wyatt, because I'm going to scream Wyatt at the top of my lungs.
You're so subtle.
Everyone around you gets confused. People like walking past over in the distance of town go, "But you're the one making noise." They think you just said quiet.
I'm going to look at Varric and then point to Warman and say, I could just send her if you want.
That might be easier.
Can I send Warman up to go and find Wyatt's ship, please?
Yes, you may.
Flappy, flappy, flap, flap, flap.
Let's see if I can do the thing with the thing. Totally not planning stuff right here. How the fuck do I spell this cantrip?
Press the what's it is what I call it.
Yeah, but it's really difficult to Google it with press the what's it.
Oh yeah.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah,
So it's like prestidigitation.
So it's basically a Digimon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But preserved. Nice.
Okay.
It took me a second for the Digimon preserved to land. I appreciated it though.
I'm glad you did. At least someone did.
Okay. Wyatt and the airship hover over towards you guys, and like a long rope ladder is dropped from the side.
Are we not forgetting our companion Arkan?
Oh, yes. I'm here for this.
Hannibal's not the person to ask. She's like, I don't care.
I can't eat that one. Actually, no, she's probably quite interested in that one. I will run in and fetch Arkan and feel guilty that I forgot him again.
For Therapist, I'll look at Varric and go, are we bringing the menagerie with us?
Well, at least to, the keep.
Alright, let's load them aboard.
Also, the menagerie, Rosie, I pull from the bag.
Oh no! Oh dear.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't get my deck back, so I'm gonna pull from the bag.
Okay, give me a second, because this is a long way. Okay, roll me a d6.
6.
Okay, while I just find my list of everything. That is good.
I'm so scared that I'll summon another Hannah, seeing as she came from the bag in the first place.
What you fucking do?
That is a
That was
poor
in character
idea.
and out of character. Oh, maybe they can fight to the death.
Oh, that could be my wish. Like,
I like that.
oh, I'm gonna use them as Mr. Meeseeks. Hannah, did I find out your race by calling you a Mr. Meeseeks?
Ha! No.
Aw. That's a shame.
Okay, here we go. Right, sorry, here we go. What did you roll?
6.
A 6. Okay. You pull something from the bag. In your hand is something small, round, and slightly furry. As you sort of throw it onto the floor, as you've done before, it disappears and rolls away. And then circles around and comes back and starts to take a form, and it has turned into a small little creature that is about the size of your hand. So it's probably about like 10-15 centimeters tall.
Can I pet him?
You all sort of like, as you lean in to look at it, you realize it's a tiny, tiny brown grizzly bear.
Oh!
Can I pick him up and put him on my shoulder?
Roll me animal handling.
Uh-oh.
I'm so gonna have to tame him so that he gets a nickname.
You can have a nickname.
Might be a
without
she.
being named.
Not natural 20.
Okay. And you're trying to. Ark can remind me about that in a second. You're trying to pick him up and put him on your shoulder.
Yes.
Okay. So, the video is being sent.
Oh my god.
Welcome back.
I want 10.
Do you know?
What have I missed?
I may
baby
have
bear.
summoned a tiny bear.
A miniature grizzly bear.
He's mine.
It's already on my shoulder.
He's about 15 centimeters tall.
Ooh.
If this was a Sunday party, you guys would have roasted him and eaten him. Aww.
Instead, we're all quietly crying in the background. Arissa is like you and
I'm slapping the hands away.
oh god, oh fuck. This is where the fire starts.
Varric has gone to. Varric has picked up the bear. But as you picked it up, it sort of went, actually this whole being tall thing is okay. And as you plonk him on your shoulder, it is a boy bear. He's got a little round poofy tail, and you sort of sit him on your shoulder, and he sort of looks around. He sort of sounds like a little bit like a baby lion because his roar is just so like tiny and high pitched. Also, as a DM tip, I think you should put a collar on him, and I think it should be pink. And on that note, he can be a caddy for the baby.
Oh god.
Now that he's actually, proven not to be dangerous, I'm gonna hand him to Arissa.
Oh. Arissa is going to use his bear as like practice.
Baby born, baby born.
And on that note, I will pause this first recording and jump back in a second.